Hello, it's Leslie here again. Today I'm going to be looking at finish line grease with Teflon, and it's got the little Teflon logo there by DuPont. So this arrived the day before yesterday, and I bought this mainly to use on my fork stanchions. I've seen them when the mechanics, when they disassemble forks, they put a bit of grease on the wiper seals. So I thought I didn't want to just use any grease for that. So I waited until this arrived. Now I've had this exact brand before, Finish Line. I've been with Finish Line since the beginning. I've liked their stuff. I bought a tube of this grease in about the year 2000 or thereabouts, give or take a few years. And I remember it very well. It was a very white grease, very slippery, and it had a very distinctive smell. So that tube ran out about 5 years ago, you know. So upon opening this grease, I was a little bit disappointed because first of all, it actually takes more effort to squeeze it out of the tube. I don't know if you can see that, but it's not actually that white. It's more what I would call, if you're an artist, a buff titanium color. So anyway, it's more sticky, tacky than the original stuff they had. So I was a little bit disappointed. I ended up just using it anyway. That was probably a mistake because my forks are really sticky now. So I want to say this grease here, first off, I wouldn't buy it again. I just wouldn't buy it because it's not what I have come to know. It's not the grease it's not the Teflon grease it used to be. So if you've got a tub of this lying around from the year 2000, thereabouts, and it's really white and it smells, see, this doesn't smell at all. If you got a tub of this stuff, the original stuff with a different label, hang on to it because I think that's a very expensive grease, and they've changed the formulation. I think they've just cheapened out on it. It's not that it doesn't feel that slippery, for starters. It just feels like ordinary grease. It's the sort of thing I would use on seat posts. Let me just refocus that. It's the sort of thing I would use on seat posts, or maybe a headset, but outside the bearing in the cups, or on threads, screw bolt threads. That's the sort of thing I would use it for. I wouldn't use this for any bearings, inside bearings, and I wouldn't use it for any friction application because I've seen better. I know that they've changed this. I think they've cheapened out on it. The other stuff used to be way better. So I don't know where I can get that from now, the original Teflon grease. I think they have another fluoro grease that they sell, which is even more expensive. But I'm a little bit disappointed in this. You'll know because they've changed the packaging. And I looked back with the Wayback Machine to try and find when they last changed the packaging, and it was at least like they've had this same packaging for the last 10 or 15 years, and I just haven't found out about it until 15 years later, because you don't use that much grease. If you've only got one bike, say, you don't actually use that much grease. So they've changed to this three multilingual approach. They've got English, German and French on the front. I think, yeah, the original label looked better anyway. I think it was more black, and the only image that I could find was very small, so I won't put up what it used to look like. But I'm very disappointed in this grease. I won't be buying any more. And you see that my other review, I was very supportive of Finish Line. I said your chain wax is very good, the wax lubricant, I use that, fine. But this has gone downhill. It's not the same stuff. I'm going to try and find where I can get the original stuff from, probably different brand. But in researching a little few things for this video, I found out greases can be very expensive. So in the scientific and laboratory sort of things, these some of these greases, you know, cost $3,000 for a few liters. It's just gone crazy. So anyway, I just wanted to say, if you're one of those people that hasn't bought a tube of this grease in the last 15 or 20 years, you might want to think twice about getting this version, because it's not the same stuff. And yeah, I'm going to look for something else that's more slippery for friction applications. So that's really all I have time to say. Maybe I should change my name to the Grumpy Cyclist. I don't know, but I get a bit annoyed when companies change things just for the sake of it. And I think a lot of it, it's not to make it necessarily better. Although it says that on here, that it's 44% higher extreme pressure rating, 27% lower ball wearing rating, and all this perfect blah blah blah, and a perfect grade in the saltwater rust and corrosion test. You know, it's to make it cheaper, so their profit is higher. That's what it is. That's why they changed it. I bet you any money the original grease that they were using in the late 90s was just prohibitively expensive. Maybe it became more expensive still with this is just sort of supposition, but I think some of those fluoropolymers and things, there may have been more restrictions on them, you know, environmental restrictions, and it's just got more expensive. Teflon's very expensive, so you know, they've cheapened out. And if you notice, it says on it here, for headsets, bottom brackets, hubs, stems and posts, gaskets and O-rings, but it doesn't say stanchion tubes on it. It doesn't say rear shocks on it. I wonder why, because it's not that slippery. It's more sticky. The other stuff, the other original white smelly grease, yeah, I would use it on shocks for sure. That's why I wanted this. That's why I went to this brand, because I thought that's a do-it-all grease that could be used on friction applications and everything. But now, as I said, I'll probably use it on my seat. There's no point returning this stuff either, because it cost me $10, because that's thicker than 2 centimeters. It cost me $9.70 to send this back to where I bought it from. It's not worth me returning it, but I will use it for seat posts and possibly a headset, cups, not the bearings, the cups, and that's about all. Maybe the bottom bracket cups. That's about all. I won't be buying it ever again, because it's not what I've come to know. It frustrates me when companies change all this stuff. And you might be thinking, if you're a bit younger, well, it's 15 years, Les. It's been the same for 15 years. Well, just wait until you get older and it happens to you, where you find something you like and then you buy the second tub of grease and it's already changed. Anyway, it says here it's still made in the USA, which is strange. I think it's just more like lithium, ordinary lithium grease. It hasn't, it's definitely not slipperier. Totally different composition. I can tell the other stuff was you could squeeze it out of the tube and it came out. Even just the squeezing it out of the tube was, you didn't need as much pressure to squeeze it out, because it was so frictionless. So I think that's that. I forget the acronym, but it's the perfluoro. What is it? PTFE's polytetrafluoroethylene. There's another perfluoro in there. I don't remember. I'm going to look for another brand of grease that is. Let me have a look. Let me see if it's got it on here. No. Krytox oil is one. And the other one that I was looking for is PFPAE oil. That might be it. I was looking up their oil for stanchion legs, and apparently they use this perfluoroalkyl ether, PFAE, and or perfluoropolyalkyl ether, PFPAE. So I might try and find some grease that's that, because that's what I think that it used to be in the past, back in the day. Alright, well that's all I have time for today. Thanks for watching. Bye.